what's happening? This is Andy coming to you again from my Daily Funk Club headquarters, and today I'm going to give you a little bit of a bass lesson that will help you get going in the direction of that kind of Motown sound, that soul music, American soul music. And you know, I don't know if it's specifically, you know, along the lines of Motown. You know, it could be the stuff that was going on in Stax, Muscle Shoals, and any of the 60s era soul music. But it's just kind of a happy-go-lucky bass line that I think is derived, you know, the origins of it come from gospel music probably. And it's all based out of a C major pentatonic kind of scale. And all I'm really doing is kind of a question and answer bass line that utilizes the C major pentatonic. That's the whole first part. So we're just kind of going up the scale and then coming back down to the 1 again. And the second time, it's got a little turn in there. So now here's where the answer comes in, where we go down the little turn licky we do an octave lower, which these kind of things are mimicking what the horns would be doing. Ba ba da ba da ba da ba da. Okay, so it's important to get that little double in there. So you're actually striking the first pitch, which is C natural. Every time you're getting that little double in there. And you're sliding into your pitches. That's a real important part of the feel and the vibe. It's not. It's right, and then there's this at the end of that little sequence. It does that twice, and then it does this kind of thing where we come under to the major third, climbing chromatically to the E, F natural, F sharp, and G, which is the 5 in C. And then there's this little kind of turnaround lick that kind of brings you back to the beginning again. That's doing a. It goes. So. Now that thing coming down there is kind of like, right? That's going to be an F natural, an E, a D, a G, and a C, right? that 7, 6, 2, 5, 1. Right? But I'm doing it with putting a fifth under it of each scale tone. As I'm coming down the scale, I'm rolling off the fifth below it. And this time I go down to the E, which is the major third. E natural. And that's one of the key elements of this whole vibe and this whole feel, is it's always really bouncy, and it's really rolling, you know, everything is rolling. You know, those guys were doing, a lot of what they were doing was just rolling through that 1-5-8 shape. And the thing that's so cool about that is that it works over any chord, because you're just playing the 1, the 5, and the 8, the 1, the 5, and the octave. So you can throw that kind of stuff in there. I was going, you could go, you know, you could do that little thing at the end any old way that you want to. But certainly that major pentatonic scale and that's a real important part. Glissing into those, as you're going up the scale, you're glissing in. You can do that as a, but that's even a little bit more fancy than it needs to be, you know. It's much actually more effective in the adding that one extra note in there, just putting the 3 notes. So there's just a little bit of something that you can play around with, you can mess around with, and you can have some fun going to that kind of, you know, that old soul place. And in terms of the tone, you know, I'm playing a P bass. It's actually a Univox P bass with a Nordstrand big man pickup in it. But I have the tone, it's set, you know, with I'm not using the EQ or anything, and I have the tone at about 40%. You know, you don't want a real, overly bright sound, because that won't sound right. And if you wanted to get real kind of authentic, you could try it, like, you know, with more of a, even more of a muted tone. It's kind of hard to do that, actually. You know, James Jamerson would have done it with one finger. there you have it. Have some fun getting down on that old school soulful sound. All right, friends, rock on. Peace.